Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Critical Reactions with your host, Bryan. It is the end of the week, so we're going to look at a creator request. Band emails me about their music, and I check it out, give some criticism, and hopefully promote it to a new audience. Alright, today we have a request from Mission Jupiter. It says, I can react to Confession if I'd like a dark, atmospheric, and acoustic sound, or Blizzard for a more retro art chilling sound. I ended up going with Blizzard. Retro art chilling sounds interesting. It's also twice as long, and, well, I do tend to like longer videos, longer songs. So, let's get into this. We got Mission Jupiter, Blizzard. Yeah, really building the scene up. We got some nice ambient tones here at the beginning. We got that low bass tone coming in. Ooh.
Hey wind, hug my chest and freeze my breathing.
The production on this is solid so far. We're only 30 seconds in or something. Yeah, I like the bass rhythm and how that's working against that that bum 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 ba-da that was going on a moment ago. Yeah, really setting up a mood here. It's also interesting, we've sort of seamlessly transitioned back into a verse and I didn't really notice it. That was smooth. Ooh. Yeah, we still have some of the synthy stuff like the bass. That really wide bass tone back there, but we brought in like a piano sound. We got these acoustic guitar or acoustic drum sounds. The intensity is rising, the rhythmic intensity of the vocals. Really wide reverb. I feel like the atmosphere is also shifted. This part is a bit brighter. Just a hair bit, not much, but definitely brighter than the last one. I love all these dotted notes. I don't know if they're true dotted notes, but the guitar is hanging onto these notes just a hair longer, not really shifting right on the beat, just after, and creating this sense of longing.
Beyond my enemies, I have protective shield to beat the grave.
Ooh.
Your tenderness in me, no one could oversee. I have protective shield to beat the
Yeah, bringing back that tom. And it's interesting, this feels like it has the instrumentation from the second half, but the atmosphere from the first half. It's definitely a bit darker. And I love how the vocals are sort of mixed as background ambience. The mix like right into the strings. Yeah, very cool. So, bit outside my wheelhouse, mostly being, well, having a lot of techno electronic elements to it. A lot of this is on the production side of things, but I'm going to do my best to talk about what I did pick up on. I do love the mix of, well, actually, it looks like everything is physically played. We have a drum machine, we have a keyboard, and that can take care of some of the digital sounding drum elements and a lot of the synth work. So it is, I think, really cool that a lot of this is electronic music, but it is being played physically with no, you know, element that would be a backing track, so to speak. And I enjoy that. I think that's awesome. I don't mind. In fact, I enjoy often the sound of electronic music, but I have a ton of respect for DJs. Don't get me wrong here. I have a ton of respect for DJs and what they do. They have a bajillion knobs in front of them, and I have no idea how they make the music they do. But there is something about pushing a button to start playing music that the the old school musician in me kind of dies a little bit. And I don't know. I just really love seeing electronic music played with digital instruments, live digital instruments, um, because they could just as well, load up the drum line or the drum stem and hit play, and have the MIDI and the virtual instrument take care of everything. But they have a drummer with the drum pad, and I think that's awesome. I really do. I can't. I do. I think that's awesome. Um, so yeah, we have almost every element, I think. I'm trying to remember all of the sections where maybe there are multiple things running, and I think it can be all done live if I'm remembering things correctly. It might require a couple of keyboards, and maybe some interesting multitasking by the keyboardist, but I'm pretty sure this can all be done live, and they're showcasing that they want to, or at least can, do it live without having to utilize, a laptop or something. And yeah, I just, like I said, that's awesome. The vibe here is is awesome. It has almost like an 80s feel to it, like the beginning of a 80s spy film, cop drama. I don't know. I don't know if anybody else is getting that. It definitely has like an 80s TV intro to me, and I just can't think of what theme, what genre of TV I could see this type of, especially the drum beat. I think the drum beat specifically, especially the one at the end that uses the toms, kind of gives me. And maybe some of the synth work kind of leans into that too. But there's this real dark edge that they put on top of that energy. And a lot of that comes from the bass. They have a super wide bass that kind of takes up the entire sound floor, and I really dig that. I've been working with wide synthy sounds lately, trying to mess around with some techno ideas that I've had that I've wanted to play around with. Um, and I'm really gravitating towards these super wide tones, and I think it works phenomenal for creating a foundational work for everything else to go over. And right here, it's a perfect example. We have this super wide bass tone that sits at the bottom and provides some basic chord movement. I think it's only playing one note, more of a root idea, whereas the synthesizer is going to be doing the chords itself, but it provides this sort of roadmap for the rest of the song to play over, while also, like I said, just creating this really nice bed that everything else can kind of fit around. If they don't necessarily need a super wide tone, they still have the width and the space being filled up by the bass itself. So, I mean, it's pulling a lot of work here while being rather simple, which is honestly what you want to do when writing music. Especially as you're going to be adding more and more layers, you want things to double up on jobs, and having something fill space while also providing direction. Um, yeah, you can't go wrong doing that. Um, I think the vocals work very well too. There's a softness to this entire song. I think it works well, especially within this visual idea of somebody being what is that word? When you hypnosis, yeah, being put to sleep and having dreams induced, or however you want to go about reading into the music video. It works very well to create this sort of dream world. Like I said, a lot of the tones have a softness to it, whether it's the synths, the drums, the bass, the vocals, even the guitar tone during the solo section has a nice roundness to it that's not quite as sharp as, a distorted electric guitar would be in a rock band. It is rounded off. It's softened up a bit. And I like how there's some ambiguity in the atmosphere as well. I mentioned at the beginning that there's this, palpable darkness to it. We hit the halfway point. The video itself shifts to the black and white, and we shift to the toms. Um, and you can hear a bit of brightness being introduced into the music. It's not quite as dark as it once was. And of course, at the end of the song, there's this nice mix between those two ideas, and I like bringing them together to create a sort of statement at the end of the song, the punctuation, blending their two ideas into a singular concept. And there's a lot of ambiguity in that finality of mixing these two ideas, this brightness and the darkness. And I think that works well again with this concept of creating a dreamlike state where everything's kind of fluid and ambiguous, and it just I could be reading into this as well, but they have the blue and pink color in there, which is a bit of a more fluid idea as well. Yeah, just really cool ideas of this ambiguity concept, and softening up ideas and making the song feel very ethereal, very dreamlike, not just in its tone, but also in its production, in the way that the sounds themselves are shaped. Did a fantastic job at pulling that together. The guitar solo. The guitar solo is interesting to me because it introduces rhythmic ideas that we don't see at all elsewhere in the song. And I think that's pretty cool. The vocals kind of have their own flow to them. There aren't very many other melodic elements. A lot of it is chordal or sound floor stuff, riff ideas, where it's kind of a shorter idea that's repeated. I know the drums are more like that. It's a very short pattern on the drums. So to hear these little triplet ideas shown up in the guitar solo was pretty neat. However, I do want to lean into what I was talking about with note lengths on the guitar solo. every note hangs over the beat just a hair. And at first, I thought it was dotted notes because they weren't lining up on the downbeat, and maybe my ear was trying to correct it so that it lined up with something in the subdivision. Um, but I don't think it does. I think it's just about sort of dragging, but not in the sense that it's slowing down. Just in the sense that it's instead of I'm going to try to convey this. So when a song drags, the downbeat hits, and then the next note, and then people play the next note. They're behind the beat, and we say that the song's dragging. It's supposed to be at a certain tempo, and people are playing it a little slower. Um, this is that same concept. You're still changing the note after the beat, but to me, it doesn't feel like dragging. It feels like longing. It's not so much that we're trying to slow it down. The guitarist is really just trying to sit on these notes for as long as possible. And sometimes that means hanging over the beat just a hair. And it really creates this concept of want. To me, like it's a well, maybe not want. Longing, I think, is actually the perfect word for it, which is why I went for it first. I should have just stuck with that. But there's this real sense of needing these notes to last longer, wanting this section to last longer than it is. And I'm not sure how any of that ties into the vocals. I didn't pick up any lyrics. I don't know how it ties into the song title, Blizzard. I don't know how that fits in with a lot of the rest of the stuff that's going on here. But I absolutely love it. It is one of those little additions that you can get in lead melody writing, especially for guitar solos where they're going to take the spotlight, and you can really inject some emotional ideas into the playing itself without actually changing any of the notes, just changing some of the rhythmic elements that are going on, and it can drastically change up the feel of a song. And like I said, right there, it changed the entire perspective I had on the track. Some of the darkness and the brightness kind of make me think of waves of nostalgia now. Thinking about the past, the dreamlike idea. Well, this kind of goes into hypnosis as well. Hypnosis is typically used to unlock the unconscious thoughts, or to open up about past events that your brain is kind of locked away. Uh, a lot of this deals with hidden concepts and longing, wanting. Those can definitely be hidden concepts. Could also deal with nostalgia for the past. Like I said, sometimes hypnosis is used to unlock memories of stuff that's happened. So yeah, this whole idea of traversing a mental landscape and experiencing different emotions and feelings, uh, atmospheres, darkness and brightness. You got your happy memories, you got your darker memories, you have your brighter aspects of your mental personality, you have darker aspects of your personality. It's really interesting how much of a sort of dreamlike mental scape they've created with this song, and I think they did a fantastic job on it. I'm definitely gonna have to check out more of their stuff, probably starting with Confession, which is their other music video. This is where you guys come in, though. Those are my thoughts on Mission Jupiter's Blizzard. What do you guys think? You enjoy it? You don't enjoy it? Anything that stuck out to you? I know there's a few of you in the community that are more experienced with electronic style music, and there's probably some really cool things in the production that I don't have an ear for yet that maybe you can point out to me. Yeah, I'm just, as usual, any sort of comments. I'm open to all sorts of conversation about this, especially like I said, this is a bit outside of my realm, being more electronic based. Yeah. Comments, description box. There's a link in there for Linktree. It's a menu with everything related to the channel. If you want to check me out on Twitter, support me through Patreon, uh, join the Discord community, all sorts of stuff. It's all in there. Other links in the description. I'll have some social media stuff as well as the YouTube channel for Mission Jupiter if you'd like to further pursue listening to them or get in contact with them or following them on Twitter or whatever. Above the description box, if you could, like, subscribe, and ring the bell. That finishes it up for this week. That was pretty good. We had an interesting retrospective week, checked out some music that I have new appreciation for. We listened to some really cool special selection tracks this week. And this right here, this is pretty intriguing. Like I said, I'm not usually up for uh, a lot of electronic music. I appreciate it, I like it. It's not usually something I seek out, though. And I'm definitely going to have to check out more of this. All right, until next time, remember to be critical, not cynical, of the music you listen to. And remember to be critical, not cynical. I'll see you guys later. Have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening, whenever you choose to watch my videos.